Make sure. Looks like I'll let you know. I think we are live though.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. We can stop whispering. We're here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Paradox Engine. Welcome to the 4th episode. A surprise attack again, which is a sure way not to get any live viewers, but a sure way to get content that we can cut up and put episodes out for you guys. But episode 4 of MTG Commander Talk. I'm here with Zack Banks, the owner and the mastermind behind Paradox Engine. My name's Justin Thomas. I'm the editor for this channel. And let's get to the guy that matters. Episode 4. Zack, introduce yourself. Let's talk about what we're doing today.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am gonna lean into my early days of Magic, and I'm gonna show you decks that I prefer playing in competitive and non-competitive play. And I'm gonna give some honorable mentions, but we're not gonna go through the decks and all that kind of stuff today. We're also gonna go through the top 10 cards that were printed in Innistrad that people just want to get.
Yeah, according to this TCG player, which we will link below. So we are going to start off. Which deck are we starting off with? I know we are starting off with Flash Man, but is this your casual or your competitive deck?
Okay, so this is my casual. So like this would be a deck that I don't play in CDH. I call him Flashman because of his abilities. So it's a Raf Kafshin Ship's Mage, 2 white blue for 3/3 with flash and flying. It makes your historic spells cast, or you could cast them at flash speed. So you could cast them at any time you have priority, which are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Unfortunately, I don't have any sagas in the deck, but I will go through combos that I could win with throughout the process of playing stuff at instant speed. Starting with Jace Wilder of Mysteries, the first Planeswalker on the list. He says, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. He has a +1 that says target player mills 2 cards, and then you draw a card. And it's -8 says draw 7 cards. If there's no cards in your library, you win the game. So the only ability we're worried about here is if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. We are now going to move down to Leveler. Leveler is a creature in the deck. What Leveler says is for 5 mana, it's a 10/10. And whenever it comes into play, you could remove your whole library from the game. So the process of this is Leveler will enter the battlefield, make sure that you don't have your library, and then when Jace comes in, you could cast him and +1 immediately to draw a card without a card in your library, and you win the game.
Awesome.
That also works with Thassa's Oracle, another creature in the deck. It's blue for a 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, you look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. So devotion is the pips on the top of the card. Every blue symbol is counts to your devotion to blue. Put up to 1 of them on the top of your library, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than... Oh, I lost it. Give me 1 second. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So just like Jace, this combos excellently with Leveler. Makes it so you win the game immediately. Another combo I could cast at instant speed is Heliod. It's another creature in the deck. Heliod Suncrowned. It's 2 and a white for a 5/5 indestructible god. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, it's only an enchantment. It's not a creature. And whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. You could also pay a colorless and white to have another creature gain lifelink until end of turn. This combos excellently with Walking Ballista, another creature in the deck. Walking Ballista is XX, so for each X you have to spend 1 mana. It comes in with X +1/+1 counters. You could pay 4, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and whenever you remove a +1/+1 counter, it deals 1 damage to any target. So the way this combos together is if Walking Ballista has 2 counters on it, no matter how you get there, you could cast it for 4, or you could cast it for 2 in an early turn and pay 4 to put a counter on it, whatever that is. But as long as Walking Ballista has 2 counters on it, and you activate Heliod's ability to give it lifelink, you can remove the +1/+1 counter to deal a damage to your opponent. Because it has lifelink, you gain life, and then you could put another +1/+1 counter on Walking Ballista.
Can I do a noob question?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's me. So $14.99. This is the price.
That is I think the most recent print.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually do believe that's a Card Kingdom price. I don't like Card Kingdom personally because they like to overcharge.
But it's a roundabout, so people could get a roundabout, pricing.
So the roundabout amount, if you press cancel or close on the thing here, and you scroll down a little bit, or no, just go back to Walking Ballista,
and
you go to its picture, and then you scroll down a little bit. You could see the TCG player price at the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so it's $6.11.
For Flusterstorm, but
okay, yeah. Let me get back to it. Yeah, my bad. Walking Ballista, $10.
For Walking Ballista, it's $10.88.
88 cents. Gotcha. Cool. Gotcha.
Yeah, your Card Kingdom price will always be somewhere between $4 to $3 more expensive than your TCG player price.
Which is pretty cool, because that's more money. And why would that? What do you get for that more money, Zach?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's cool, guys. You heard it first. So
the reason Card Kingdom charges more is because they are pulling it just like TCG Player. They're pulling it from a store, so like a local card store, and they're shipping it to you, but they're charging you more just for the hell of it.
Oh, cool. So it's like buying it from Target and then trying to sell it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, so they don't have. Oh, that's just a business. It's a business not properly set up. So let's support them. They'll get on their feet. All right. Sorry for the interruption. I thought that'd be pretty cool. And then later on, I would like to know around about how much does this deck cost, so people can get kind of.
Well, you could see it on the screen. At the bottom of the screen where the purple is. On the bottom of your screen.
I found it.
Yeah, okay. $1,600.
Okay. Wow, you could buy an editor for that. Yeah.
But other combos that you can find in this deck is in the enchantments department. And it's going to be Intruder Alarm.
Got it.
So Intruder Alarm says 2 and a blue for an enchantment. Creatures don't untap during your controller's untap step. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. So it doesn't untap any of your stuff during your upkeep, but eventually, if a creature enters, you could activate other tap abilities. And that is utilized through some of the creatures in the deck. If you go back up to the creatures, the first one is the Thraben Doomsayer. Thraben Doomsayer is colorless white for a 2/2, and you tap it and you create a 1/1 soldier. So basically, if you have this and give me 1 second, intruder alarm on the board, you basically tap the 3-bin Doomsayer. You create a 1/1. The 1/1 enters, untapping the 3-bin Doomsayer, and you could continue doing that infinitely until you want to stop.
Nice.
And that's also insane. Another example of this is in the creatures department too, and it's Steward of Solidarity.
Ooh, let's see.
Steward of Solidarity is 1 and a white, tap, exert, create a 1/1 warrior creature token with vigilance. So, because of intruder alarm, you exerting doesn't matter. Because when you exert the creature, it can't untap during your next untap step. But you're not untapping on your next untap step. You're untapping with an ability. So, with this specific card and intruder alarm, you just create infinite 1/1s with vigilance.
Gotcha.
Let's do another combo. Both of them are in the enchantments department.
Got it.
The first one being Energy Field.
I know this from one of our videos. Go ahead.
Yep. So Energy Field is colorless in a blue. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you from sources you do not control. When a creature is put into your graveyard, sacrifice Energy Field. So, when you you never sacrifice Energy Field if you also play Rest in Peace. So that's another enchantment department thing.
Which we have right here.
So, So Rest in Peace says when it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards, and if a card or if a card or token would be put in the graveyard from anywhere, exile it. So this will make it so that Energy Field is never sacrificed. So it is a permanent fog on your board until somebody gets rid of one of the pieces.
Gotcha.
So you'll never be able to take damage.
10-4.
Which is the most insane thing ever.
I like that. Fog of War protects it. So yeah, I like it. I'm a noob, so I'm learning. I'm putting this together. These cards, that card protects that card in white. So I'm learning here too. So yeah. And let us know in the comments below, people that are watching live, or especially the people that will watch once we cut this up and put it out there. What do you think about Zack's combos? And what do you have in your deck? So go ahead, Zack.
All right. So we are I'm going to talk about something so I don't get absolutely blazed in the comments.
Uh-oh.
Because unfortunately this is pre-ban. So this list has Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt in it.
That's a shame.
To be honest with you, I had time. I probably should have cut these pieces, but I just wasn't able to do so before the stream. So realistically,
I see they got red marks next to them. Yep.
Yeah. So in their place, because of the format's a lot slower, both of these are 0 drops, but I will actually probably think about replacing them with like Thought Vessel or Mind Stone maybe.
Okay, I'll pull those up really quick so people can look at those when you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Thought Vessel is just 2 colorless for an artifact, and basically it just says you have no maximum hand size, and it taps for a colorless.
Got it.
So it's like it's a mana rock either way. It ramps you, and it allows you to keep all your cards in your hand. The other one is Mind Stone. So if Mind Stone is for 2 mana, it taps for a colorless, and you could sacrifice it for 1 to draw a card. It adds additional value, and it also ramps you in the early game. So I would say those would probably be the best 2 cards out of all the cards to probably replace the Jeweled Lotus and the Mana Crypt.
And how much would this cost to do to switch these out?
Not a lot, like a couple bucks.
Oh, that's not bad then. So the band cards are not going to cost you that much then. So replacing Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt, those are the 2 bans. Zach is sorry for what he's done. He apologizes. I have not bought my first deck yet, but I'm getting a pre-con deck, and I don't have any band cards in my deck. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, I don't have that problem, but it is, I guess it's a problem that other people might have as well. So, live and learn. So Zach, you can go on. You've shined light on it. You've said you're sorry.
So realistically, the rest of the deck is just a bunch of value pieces and a lot of tutors to go find the pieces, and pretty much just protect your strategies, give you more value, all of this type of stuff.
And can we put this list so people can have it? Can I link it in the information?
Absolutely.
So they have access. All right. So you guys can get access to this deck right here. You can fix Zach's. We'll fix it. We'll get rid of that too. We'll retcon this a little bit. So anything else on this one, or do you want to move to the next one, Zach?
We could go ahead and move to the next one.
All right, and explain the difference here really quick with Turbo Tivit. We got from Nightwolf 26. Oh,
that's yeah, that was my gamer tag when I was like a little kid.
I heard him.
But so this is my CDH list. Unfortunately, it also has the incorrect artifact position in Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt, but we could go over that later.
Are we gonna? Yeah, because it's the same ones, right? Or no, it's not.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same cards, but
okay.
For this specific list, I'd probably lean into more competitive cards than Thought Vessel and Mind Stone. I might actually just drop the rocks and add more value pieces.
Gotcha. So you might do more than just take out the 2 cards. You might rearrange it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Go ahead. Tivit, Seller of Secrets, is the commander. Mm-hmm. It's 3 white, blue, black for a 6/6 with flying and ward 3. When it enters the battlefield or deals damage to a player, starting with you, each player votes for evidence or bribery. For each evidence vote, investigate, which means create a clue token. And for each bribe vote, create a treasure token. While voting, you vote at an additional time. So you vote twice for all the cards that you vote on, pretty much. Mm-hmm. This helps because it goes infinite with one single card in the deck under the artifacts section. Time Sieve.
Got it.
So Time Sieve is a blue-black for an artifact. You tap, sacrifice 5 artifacts, take an extra turn. So with Tivit, every time he hits a player, he creates 5 artifacts. And with this, you could sack those 5 artifacts to take infinite turns. So if no player has a flying creature, which in CDH is very often, unless they're playing some sort of strategy where their commander has flying for some reason. Mm-hmm. But if they don't have a creature with flying, Time Sieve pretty much goes infinite. With the only just way to beat the commander,
a set of wings. You need a set of wings.
Pretty much
to counter this. Got it.
Yeah. To be honest, the rest of the deck pretty much has the same strategy as the other deck. Mm-hmm. So you have your Thassa's Oracle in the creature section. But instead of Thassa's Oracle complementing Leveler in the deck, it instead is complemented by 2 different cards in the deck under the instance category. Demonic Consultation. So, Demonic Consultation is 1 black for an instant. Name a card, remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game, and reveal the next card to all players. If it is the named card, put that card in your hand. If not, remove that card from the game and continue revealing the top card of your library and removing it from the game until you get the named card. So basically, with this deck, you're going to play Demonic Consultation and you're going to say, hi, I need a mountain. A mountain doesn't exist in this deck. So pretty much on turn 3, if you have 2 blue and a black, you could play Demonic Consultation and name Mountain, and then which is not in the deck, and exile your entire library, and then play Thassa's Oracle.
So what would be your tip, really quick? Like, it's talking to a noob, like the different mindsets behind like building these decks. Like you like you're saying, like you're making different connections and different combinations. So obviously, this deck costs about 5 times as much too, right?
Yes.
Is this so? Is it just money, or is it stratagem? What's leading the change here? One is a casual deck and one is more competitive, obviously, but I still think that there's a little bit more psychology behind that. Like, so, like, what is it basically decided based on just money?
Yeah. So Magic is a pay-to-win game.
Okay, it's nothing wrong if it is. I'm just asking. Yeah.
Yes. So it's just strictly a pay-to-win game. So if
Gotcha.
you're not paying to win, then you're most likely not going to win in a competitive format.
Yeah, you have to have knowledge, but you have to have the money to utilize the right cards. Like, you're just
Yes.
not going to be able to use $1,000. Could somebody beat you? I know they could technically, but like, how likely is somebody $1,000 deck to beat your $5,000 deck if they're really good?
I could probably beat my $5,000 deck with my $1,500 deck.
Okay, all right,
Like playing against it 1v1, I could probably beat it.
gotcha.
But the main reason why this deck is more expensive than the other one is if you go down to the land section.
Okay.
So if you go down to lands, you'll see a land called Scrubland.
Gotcha. Got it.
Okay. These are what's known as true duels. So they just come in and they do their thing. But the only reason this card is expensive is because it's fetchable with every fetch in the game.
Okay.
So anything that looks for the basic land types, you could go find Scrubland.
So it's applicable. It mixes with any. It matches up with way more cards, and that's why you're paying $400 for it. Okay.
Yes. And then you move down to the Tundra, and the Tundra is even more expensive.
God, these lands suck too. Like, I mean, like as lands, like, like as lands I want to live on. Like, it's like, oh shit. Oh, sorry. I mean, oh crap. So I'm trying to censor myself. Go ahead.
So like these true duels are insanely pricey for what they are, but they are the only cards that do that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fetchable. None of them say they come in tapped. They both act as dual lands, and they're probably the best at what they do.
Yeah.
What's even more insane is if you, instead of saying Tundra, you could go down to Underground Sea. And Underground Sea is $1,000 card.
God, so it's just like a sewer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So this is $1,000 card that just sits there in the deck and fixes your mana, I guess.
May I say I also don't like the art on any of these? Is that okay to say? Like, it's also like visually not pleasing.
Yeah. So there's different prints of these cards, but these are obviously the more expensive ones. They were reprinted once, and then there was a secret layer in which they reprinted them all in like a borderless, which they have actually a better art on those cards because they look cooler.
I think this is the same one. I don't know if I think I'm able to go to the different ones on this really quick. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're able to on you're able to get different versions on this. How do I get the different versions on the site I'm on?
I actually don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I've never done that before, but the only reason why this deck is more expensive than that one is because of the true duels. They also come with most of the fetches, which are like $20 each, for up to like 25 if you get the rare ones. It also comes with more combos of the category necropotence. So like this deck is much more expensive in the combo category as much as it is in the value category. Another card that's like big money that probably doesn't need to be in here for some reason. You could go to Transmute Artifact in the sorceries. So Transmute Artifact is from Antiquities, and basically it's like a $450 card that just sits in there. I probably never use it. It's kind of insane that I have it in the deck instead of choosing another card for that specific category. But this specific card looks for time sieve, so that's realistically the only reason it's in there. It also comes with more of the expensive value cards like Esper Sentinel and Lotho, Orcish Bowmaster, like
Yeah,
all of the more value pieces that you just get additional value out of, they're in here.
got it.
So
Where could you trim the fat hair if you had to trim some fat? Say you got to take $1,000 off this deck. Where do you take it?
you don't.
Gun to your
Like,
head, you got to do it.
well, there's no way to do it unless
Really?
you just cut the true duels. Like
Yeah.
that would be an easy $2,000 right there. But like,
Well, how about 500 and it's still playable and winnable? I'm on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot here, but maybe somebody doesn't have 5,000. Maybe they have, or maybe they just have 5,000. They don't have 5,541. So we gotta make it work. You know, where do we get this $500 from here? Do we get rid of some Imperial Steel? Do we move down to some Damascus Steel? What do we do?
no, because Imperial Seal is needed. Vampiric Tutor is needed. Demonic Tutor is needed.
Sorry, making you pick between your children here. Sophie's choice.
It's well, I would probably start by cutting the band cards and replacing them.
Gotcha. So something a little bit less fancy for those. So I won't put you on the spot, but I just wanted to know because I thought it'd be interesting. 5,000. Big. Okay, well I got 5,000. I'm at 5,541. But I get it. Like you have to look at what card goes with it, and it's not just I can cut this because if you cut this, you're cutting other stuff, and it doesn't, or it makes other cards not work. I do understand that. So
yeah. This is strictly built the best it could possibly be. Except
there's nothing in
course,
here that doesn't do something.
Yeah, like everything does something in this deck.
Gotcha.
And like the more expensive, like if I had to cut something, it's probably Transmute Artifact.
Okay.
And that's about $400 worth of the value. But like, you still need that to go find your time save, to go find your One Ring, to go find your value.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it wasn't put in there like willy-nilly. I get it. Yeah, that everything had a plan, so I guess if you'd have to start more from scratch to really get the price down, right? Like would be you can't just cut from this. It'd be probably easier, I'm assuming, to start from scratch to make a deck that's cheaper than to just cut from this one. Because this one, like you said, you picked all these cards have a purpose. Obviously, I look at these and I think, oh, there's a bunch of cards here. You can surely cut one or two, but I'm new, so that's why I'm probably gonna suck because I'm looking at it like that.
Yeah, for this particular deck, I don't think I could actually cut anything.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Everything's got a reason.
Yeah, so like even the counter spells have a reason. Born Upon the Wind works with Necropotence as an infinite. Windfall kind of draws you into more value. Toxic Deluge, and I also am supposed to have Languish in the deck. Both of those cards active as board wipes in the format. Savine's Reclamation kind of gets your time sieve back if they decide to do that. Mnemonic Betrayal is probably just additional value. You start casting other people's cards. Like there's more value in here than you could possibly comprehend, which is why I can't really go in and be like, I could cut this very easily.
Absolutely. So another noob question. So Commander as a format, does this have some of the most cards, or do other formats have lesser more cards than Commander?
So obviously the standard is very limited. Okay. It's limited to like the 2 or 3 years of the sets that just released. It's also like
I'm talking about card count that you can have in your deck, though.
Oh, Commander is the most.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the only other format that you can have more than Commander in is probably a cube draft. So a cube, you have like a 554 card list, and you just draft those cards.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest list, and that's not even like an actual deck. It's more like you're putting it into a draft format.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's like a league that you're picking from for it, of players. So I gotcha. So we've got 5,000 here, and then we've got 1,000 here. This is Zack's casual deck. So he claims that he can beat, and I'd like to put a little bit of put some money on this and see if he could to prove boast here, because he says he could beat his $5,000 deck with his $1,500 deck. So I'd be interested to see that, to see you actually do that. That would be interesting. Are you able to you're able to play against yourself online, right?
Not that I know of. I haven't found a way to do it yet, but like you could definitely play other people that are playing your deck.
Gotcha. You could play me, which wouldn't recommend it, my friend. Yeah, I might take it down.
Because this specific Tivit list is played by many people in California.
Gotcha.
Like this is like top 5 CEDH deck lists.
So there is a regional difference. I've heard this before, that there is like a lot of people out in California are playing these cards compared to the East Coast. So can you tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind?
Well, it depends on where you're at, and what people are playing in your state. So like if more people are playing like Sands Green. If they're playing Sands Green, you're gonna look to your control matchups, like your Tivit, your Zur the Enchanter, and all that kind of stuff. If you're here in California, you get your players like your Winota players, all the aggressive play, and you kind of look towards maybe like a control list like Tivit to kind of slow them down.
So why do you think it is different regionally? I mean, I understand it's just by why, but why are people in different states playing different things? Is it different style, just different culture?
It's a little bit of everything. My honest thought about it is that people are raised a certain way in
Yeah,
certain states, and people are raised to be more aggressive at certain stages of their life.
gotcha.
And maybe those people are complete opposites compared to the people that are in Wyoming, where
Hmm.
there's not a lot of people, and it's a lot more conservative with raising their children.
Yeah,
So like the people that are more conservative could play more controlling matchups.
gotcha.
So I think it's like the player itself kind of determines what that player is going to play. Um, just like me, I'm a natural control player. I will
Hmm.
never I will never lean away from playing control. Um, if I do, I'm probably just doing it for fun and I take it apart in like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah,
But like the decks that I've had for 10 years, 7 years, 5 years, they are all control decks because I keep them together and they I never take them apart.
I think it's interesting the psychology behind it, because I did hear a guy recently in a podcast when I'm doing research for my job here as an editor, talking about how people were playing different stuff when he went out to California than they were playing in, like, on the East Coast. I just found that to be very interesting. Obviously, different cultures, different, people on the East Coast that have to stay inside. Like, back in the day, especially the East Coast. Really had a lot more like art come out of it, like in music, because of the fact of people were shut in the winters and had to find something to do more than
Yeah.
people. Yeah, now everybody's just shut in. So now there ain't no art no more. You heard it first here. I'm just saying, like, everybody's out, but no, there's actually a lot of art, but back in the day it was different. Like, like in Boston, you'd be locked in your basement, like in Detroit, it was freezing freaking cold. So you weren't going out. So, yeah, different. I think that's very interesting there too. And then, like you said, everything down to the way they were raised and stuff like that. Maybe after church you're not playing with the gods as frugally. I don't know. I think that's interesting. I'd like everybody to watch this, to put if you can, link your decks too. And I know that we're going to talk more about this. I'm eventually going to get a deck and move on and make my own mistakes and get off on my own. And
Well,
Zach's going to see me grow up.
yeah, we could actually do this. If you guys post in the comments your guys' deck lists on Boxfield, I could actually go through them and actually give you guys pointers on the deck and how to improve it. Or if it's perfect, I'll tell you it's perfect. If it's garbage, I'll tell you it's garbage. So like
Consulting.
if
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
if you guys want to do that, you could I don't know if we could pin comment, if they could pin comments, but
We
uh
can pin comments, but if you just put it in there and put it in there with a hashtag, check my list, hashtag check my list,
yeah,
and
and then
it'll go up.
maybe next episode we'll go through and we'll talk about people's lists.
Yeah, if you want it, just make sure you put that hashtag in there. That means that you are okay with us talking about it. And we're not trying to bust your balls or anything. So yeah, put it out there. See, especially I'd like to see another type of player with a $5,000, to see what their $5,000 bought them, to see if Zack truly built the best with this money, or if he's just throwing money around like a Californian king over there, like some sort of a big shot, a California big shot out there. I don't know. I've heard people say it, Zach. I've heard whispers of it. That you're out there.
California Big Shot, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. They were saying big shot. It's California big shot over there. So I'm not trying to start anything. That's just what I heard. So we'll see. We'll see if there's more frugal players with some lists here. I think that is interesting though, and I think that's cool. Yeah, to take a look at those lists and stuff like that, because obviously you invest that much money. I mean, I did not know before I started working for you the amount of money that this game costs, because $5,000 is nothing to scoff at, man.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
I've seen decks that go up to uh 10 grand maybe.
Is there limits though? Like when you're playing at certain places? Like I mean, there has to be. I've heard like $100 like deck limits and stuff like that.
Well, it depends on what event you sign up for, I guess.
Yeah.
So like if you go for a CDH event, you're gonna see time twisters, which are like $1,500 or like $5,000 cards. You're gonna get to see all the competitive action with all the competitive cards, but like if you sign up for an event where you're like, okay, well, there's $100 limit, then obviously you're not gonna see all those cards.
Yeah. It's like we want to see like the sports that like allow like the sports enhancement. Like we want to see like it's like let the PDs go. Let's see the best possible competition out there. So but obviously there's the appeal of seeing people that are forced to work within a certain constraint to work to, especially people that don't have $5,000. So that's interesting. So speaking of other people's picks and stuff like that, and wants and needs and all that sort of things, not just what the California King needs. Zach himself, sorry, I put that nickname on you right there. I think it fits. You're a king, my friend. The top 10 cards everybody wants from Innistrad. Why can't I say this word?
Innistrad
Remastered. Jesus. God. All right.
Yeah, every single set in Magic is very, very hard to say.
Yeah, who just name it something regular. Like what about just like, like I don't know, like Rager Remastered or like I don't know, like Fireball. Jeff, I don't know, Innistrad. These all sound like names from Norway. So this is by Emma Partlow. Probably a good person, let's just say. And this is their list right here, and this is a new deck that's out, right? It's remastered. So can you tell us a little bit about
Innistrad Remastered was released probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
This is basically like a takeaway type of thing that we're trying to do just to get caught up.
Yeah, no, we want to. This is a good website. Same with the gamer to test the waters and see what people are talking about. So we will go through their lists right here. So we got number 10 right here, which is Hermit Druid. So it's a hermit and a druid, and we've got it at number 10 here. So go ahead, sir. Go ahead, King.
So Hermit Druid is a card that goes infinite with a lot of cards. Not exactly a ham sandwich yet, but like it's gonna sit there and it's gonna make people worried about what you're doing. So it's a colorless and a green for a 1/1 creature human druid. For a green, you could tap it, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand, and all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. So this works as your leveler. This works as your demonic consultation or your tainted pact or something like that if you're not even in the black colors. And it combos really well with your Laboratory Maniac, your Jace the Wilder Mysteries, the Thassa's Oracle, anything that you could win the game without, like, or with drawing the last card of your library, because you could just put no basic lands in the deck and then you just mill your entire deck out.
Gotcha. So this is a precursor to a lot of winning combos, essentially.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, somebody plays this, usually they're winning the game sometime in the next turn or 2 turns.
Gotcha. Yeah, combo piece. Yeah, Laboratory Maniac. I remember that card. I like the art on that Laboratory Maniac. So
yeah, Lab Man.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go down to these 3 right here. We've got Thassa's Oracle.
Those aren't reprints. Those are cards that combo with it.
Oh, okay. So these are just possible combos right there. That's what I was saying, man. Yeah. Oh, there's Lab. There he is. So,
yeah, the Lab Man.
Yeah, I like him. He's making something cool. He's making something that'll keep you up. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back. Not now, Lab Man. Later.
Yes. So the next card is the Fang Frame Bloodline Keeper at number 9.
Nice.
So The bloodline. I actually can't get the backside of this card for some reason.
You want me to flip
But
it? See if I flip it. There we go. Lord of lineage. Lineage.
okay, so for 2 black for 3/3 with flying, you could tap it, create a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying. You could also pay a black, transform this creature, only activate if you have 5 or more vampires. Can you flip it on the other? Or actually, I could flip it. Yay! I just figured it out. All right.
There you go.
So it flips into a 5/5 with flying. Other vampires you control get +2/+2, and it taps to create a 2/2 black vampire with flying.
We were just talking about flying, right?
Yeah, so if for some odd reason somebody's playing this in CDH, you could go ahead and block the Tivit with your Bloodline Keeper, or the tokens that he creates. But this is really busted. Like, there's nothing more to say about this card. It goes into Vampire Tribal, and kind of makes itself look good. Card's just generally good.
Gotcha.
I don't see it going infinite with anything other than Intruder Alarm, maybe.
Gotcha.
Because it does tap to create a creature, so you could create infinite creatures if you're in black-blue, but this really doesn't matter unless you are playing vampires. So
Gotcha. So then we got our 3 cards to go with it, and then we're going down to Cathar's Crusade. Cathar's Crusade. Ooh, I like this one.
okay.
I like this. I like what this is about right here already, Keen. This is what it's about.
Yeah. So Cathar's Crusade, the most busted card in white ever. Nice. So it's 3 white. Whenever a creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Let's say you are playing one of the decks that I play, Yorion. Yorion blinks your permanents every single turn. So let's say you trade your Yorion and you play a Philidar Guardian. So now you're blinking both of them every single turn, triggering Cathar's Crusade many times a turn, and now you're just creating this 1/1 that now has 20,000 counters on it. You just make your small stuff big.
I like it.
And it goes pretty much nuts.
I like it. I like the heart. I like what it's capable of doing. I think that it's gonna be a future purchase of mine, to be honest with you. So they've got my money.
Yeah, you probably should put it in Kaisar.
Yeah, seriously. No, it goes like thematically with it. No, it seriously does. It goes like thematically with it, like everything. Like because I'm at the stage where like I like the pictures. So like yeah, but still, it'll work out too for me. It seems right.
Yeah.
Nice. Score 1 for me.
That is a really good card for Kaisar.
Hell yeah. It's a good day when I get something. Hell yeah, man. Worked out. I figured something out. Hell yeah, I'm learning. A year from now, I'll be, maybe like playing a full game. Okay. Now on to number 7. Besides my foolish dreams and desires. Crypt Tolith, right?
Yes. Yeah, Cryptolith, right. It's colorless and a green for an enchantment. It makes all your creatures tap for a color, a color of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good for token decks. If you're playing tokens, you're almost guaranteed probably 10 to 15 mana every turn, and you're spending 2 mana to do it. So this card goes nuts, but it's pretty much only used for like very big X spells like Torment of Hellfire or March of the Multitudes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as long as you have tokens, this card is good.
So for tokens, that's gonna work out for you. So and then you got some down here. So let's go. I like this right here. We got Liliana of Vale. And she is. Go ahead, tell me about Liliana.
This is actually the first Planeswalker without the Planeswalker border. And it's nuts to me that Liliana was the first one. But this is a card that most people play in Modern. If you're playing your Jund, your Sultai, any sort of mid-range deck, you're playing Liliana. You're also playing this in Discard, which is one of the better decks in the format right now. And it pretty much is its own utility, because you could choose to have people discard cards. You could choose to have target player sacrifice a creature. And if you eventually get to the -6, it's a ending game changer.
Gotcha. So she could
So
possibly take you all the way. She could possibly take you all the way. Let's see.
yeah.
Okay, moving on. Wait, who is that down there? No, I won't get distracted. I'll look at him later. All right. Okay. The Meat Hook Massacre. All right.
Yeah,
What's
so
this all about?
Meat Hook Massacre was like a $80 card when it first came out. It's also very, very nutty. Goes into any aristocrat deck, like your Orzhov, your Esper, anything that you pretty much sacrifice stuff for value. Um, this card would go good in it. It's also good for your mono black combo decks where you kind of just sacrifice your thing until your opponent's dead, and like just nothing more to say about it. It's like
A bloody end. It's
yeah, it pretty much states itself.
yeah, it's not a pretty way to get there, but it's you got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Meat Hook Massacre. Okay. And then we got something a little bit more bright side. Oh, I like this. I like the old serial film look. So we have Ava Sin.
Yeah, it's Avacyn Age of Hope. This is specifically the Borderless movie poster edition.
That's so cool. Dude.
Yeah, it's sick. So it's a legendary creature angel. It's 5 white. It has flying, vigilance, and indestructible. And it says other permanents you control have indestructible. And it's an 8/8. Yeah. So as you can see in the picture, tiny little angel, but there's a big thing that she is attempting to destroy there, and she's going to end up doing it because nothing could kill her.
Nothing could. Yeah, this is like an old school like like horror film, like the like the thing, it came from the swamp, like the Night of the Walking Dead. Look at this like old school like serial like movie film. Like back in the 40s or whatever, when they're like in a time without hope. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's cool. That's really cool. But she could do it. Angel of Hope. And it flies too, right? We got flying.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Okay, here we go again. Something seems to be in the same theme, at least.
Yes. I want you to try it first.
Okay. A mackerel.
All right, so it's an Emrakul.
Emrakul, the Promised End. Thanks, Magic. Again, Emrakul. Go ahead. Are you froze? I think you froze. We might have lost Zach. Zach, let me know if you can hear me. I can't hear you, just so you can know. Okay, you're back now. You froze for a minute, so you're back. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I lost you there.
Yep, I lost you too. Are we good now?
Yeah, I think we're good. So
okay, we're good.
So we call this card Tentacle Daddy. And it pretty much states itself. It's a 13-drop Eldrazi creature, and it says it's a 13/13 with flying, trample, protection from instants. It costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard, and when you cast it, you gain control of an opponent's turn, and after that turn, that player takes another turn. So, gotcha. There's a reason that Tamio trapped this thing in the moon. This thing is monstrous.
200 feet tall. Reading and it silences and like freezes people with the terror, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely not terror because tentacles are a thing.
Yeah, no, but it's like she causes silent terror is what it says. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's freaking people out pretty much. Yeah, that which I would be too. It's I don't want to run into that.
Yeah,
Macro.
but realistically the story about this creature is it got imprisoned in the moon, which is actually another card that was printed in the set in
Moon
uncommon.
prison?
But
Moon jail?
no, it says imprisoned in the moon.
So it went to jail in the moon.
So basically Tamio and Avison use their power to take Emrakul and put him in the moon.
Okay, so they embedded it in the moon. It was trapped inside of the moon, not a prison on the moon. It was trapped inside of the moon, is
No,
what you're saying.
it's absolutely a prison. He's there for
Okay,
life.
there we go. So prison on the moon. So we've done it. We've done it. Elon, you didn't get your prison on Mars. You got it on the moon. So that's I don't know. I don't have a problem with this thing being in prison on the moon. I hate to be insensitive, but it seems kind of freaky, man. Again, I'd like to
Yeah,
see
it's
some lore
absolutely
videos.
freaky.
I'm gonna look up that later. I'd like to see some lore videos. I'm sure I could find some. And then okay, I'll say this one: Crater Hoof, Behemoth, right?
Yeah, so it's Craterhoof Behemoth,
Behemoth, yeah, that's an
and
actual
it's
word.
in
Yeah.
retro frame. So,
Gotcha.
what
Don't
the
laugh at
retro
me.
frame is like the older art border
Mm-hmm.
that came from like the earlier parts of Magic. But
Gotcha.
this creature is absolutely insane. This is the one card I actually wanted from this set. And I
Did
actually
you get it?
ended up getting it yesterday.
Nice.
And it's 5 green, green, green for a 5/5 with haste. And it says when it enters, creatures you control get trample and get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So if you have a whole bunch of creatures on the board and you want to end the game, this is how you do it.
Yeah. Looks like
Yeah,
a
so
giant bullfrog. Yeah.
it is definitely a bullfrog.
Is it actually? Are you
Yep,
serious? Wow.
yep, it is most definitely a bullfrog.
I can't say behemoth, but I can guess what it was. There I go. I get one. Yeah, it does. It looks like a big old bullfrog. Yeah, it's terrifying. So this is like your war elephant. This thing
Yeah,
tramples people.
you play war games.
Mm-hmm.
So what is like this is the army that you place in the one area when you want to get shit done fast.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be like I'm gonna berserkers. I'm just gonna shred the line with sheer power and fear. I'm gonna uh use like my war elephants or something to trample it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Gotcha. So no, I'm not sitting around and waiting for a tactical retreat or anything. I'm freaking running down the line with my big old bullfrog. So they used to take pigs and set them on fire to get the elephants to move and to scare them. That's a fun fact of medieval times. So that's how they used to make
Fun
that work.
fact.
Well, they half the time they would trample their own people. It didn't work. It worked out as good as you think it would, as well as you think it would work out. Not all that well. So that's how
And
they get
then
those things to do it. Yeah, go ahead, Edgar.
yep, then we got the man that needs no introduction.
I'll take
Uh
one though. I will take one because I need it. Edgar Markov.
at number 1, Edgar Markov.
Oh, he looks like he
So,
could fit in my set. Go ahead.
yep, so this is the first commander to be printed and the very next day banned in
Oh no,
single
come on.
player formats.
Damn it.
But
Oh,
if you're playing with multiple people, Edgar Markov is allowed to be played.
yeah.
Um, so it's 3 red, white, black with an eminence trigger. So what eminence means is it could still be in your command zone and you
Mhm.
still get the trigger off of it.
Gotcha. Which is on the side. That's that side. my side stack,
Yes.
right? Okay.
So your commander's always in the command zone until you
Yeah.
cast it.
Got it.
Uh,
Got it.
only commanders with the eminence trigger can be allowed to trigger from the command zone. There's no other cards that do it.
Gotcha.
And
Because yeah,
yeah,
lofty or high in rank is the actual definition of eminence. So
yes. So whenever you cast a vampire spell and Edgar Markov is still in your command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token.
mm-hmm.
So anytime you cast a vampire, you get another vampire, which is nutty.
Nice.
Not only that, it is a 4/4 with first strike and haste, and when it attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control.
Yeah, this guy kicks ass, man. Look at all of his grooms getting him ready. He's getting his armor put on, his plate armor, his sword presented to him. This guy kicks ass, man. He seriously does.
Yes, literally. There's not a lot of times this deck actually loses in a game of Commander.
But well, okay, so again, Paradox Engine. I spoke about this off air. Paradox, the people that made this guy are the same people that banned this guy, right? How does that happen?
They
get drunk and make something so powerful they wake up and they're like, "Oh no, what do we do?"
No, so they like have the mindset to just do it and ask permission later.
Okay.
And there's a lot of cards that have been like that, and this is one of them, which is why people want it, because it's $150 card that just got reprinted, and it's definitely going to end up going up. So like,
yeah,
there's no reason that nobody would want to not have an Edgar Markov card.
Yeah, so they're also dictating the market, so they're making their money too. Yeah, that is wow, that is corrupt as hell, man. I gotta say, that is just yeah. When I first got the job with you, I was like, oh, isn't there a bunch of like drama with Wizards of the Coast? And I definitely every day I understand a little bit more of why, a little bit more. It makes the UFC look like they're like a freaking like ethical company, and they are not. So yeah, that is I think I might get him though. I don't know if I get the money for him, but yeah, I do like him. Edgar is a card that I think could be for this fellow right here. So all right, well, we'll start finishing it up right here. This was a surprise, but we're doing all of them by surprise. It's a great content strategy to like just pop a lot, not let anybody know. You don't want anybody to know when you're going to be streaming. You want to surprise them. So it's a great way to do it. But no, I thought it was interesting to have Zack, since I call him the king, but that's a joke. Obviously, he hasn't got the nickname yet. But yeah, you do know your stuff, so it's interesting to take a look at two of your decks, and also see that Zack's got regular people problems too. He's got banned cards up in there because he's busy. That he's going to change. So you said takeaways from this episode are we're going to be taking a look at people's if they want. Hashtag check my deck in there to make sure that's your consent for us to do it, and put in link that in there. So it should I'll make sure that links are don't get blocked in the comments. But it's the weekend, Zack. Anything you want to end off with here? We had your two decks. We had the great article by let me get her name one last time so we can give her credit, and I'll link it as well.
It's Emma Hartley.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow her on Twitter. RNX. There you go. All right, brother. Anything you want to talk about?
Not a lot. For those sports fans out there, it's Super Bowl weekend. Have fun with your family. Watch the game for me because I'll be working. Yeah, and and go Hawks.
There you go. Yeah, go Hawks. Yeah, I've got a funeral. I'm not really a big football game, but I will try to catch some of it. So we'll be chopping this up. We had an episode yesterday where we took a look at Aether Drift and a few other things. So we're gonna mix it up, put it in there, and we'll get another one of these episodes. We kind of rebuilding the channel, the Paradox Engine. So again, what do you guys want to see? I'd love to get some more. I'd like to get some more examples of decks out there, especially since I am finally learning and to start and build my own and all that. So I do find it fascinating. So it is a lot of money, but I think that there's a lot of creativity to be had and fun to have with this game as well, even on a pay scale that's not necessarily $5,000. Can I have a raise, Zach?
What happened?
Can I get a raise so I can buy a better deck? Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Sweet. I'm gonna get it, guys. I can tell. All right. I will delete the channel if you don't give it to me. So that is my yeah, that's what I do. No.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, and that's bad for my business. Yeah, no, that is a joke. I'm gonna cut it in the other one. So that is definitely a joke. So yep, we appreciate you guys. Make sure to subscribe, put your lists down there below. And yeah, let us know what you want to hear about in the following episodes. So maybe there's a website that has articles in it that you'd like to see Zach go through and take a look at their top 10 and see what he has to say about that. Because so far we pretty much don't have a big problem with these lists. It seems to be pretty comfy, cozy. These lists seem to be done by competent people. When you say, Zach.
Yeah, so all these people know what they're doing. It's just
That's nice.
Sometimes they make very bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to point those decisions out. So
yeah, it's been nice so far, because I'll tell you, in the fandom, the where I come from, like with talking about television shows and all that, the lists they make, man, are always bad. Like they're usually terrible. Like Forbes is terrible. So it's actually nice. I think that this is from my experience, a nice community. So hopefully it stays nice. So of good smart people. So just having a good time, even if they make a few mistakes with some banned cards here and there. Everybody makes a mistake. So all right, man, we will be back in a few weeks, and well, you'll be seeing this spread out, so we might be back tomorrow. It depends on when you're watching this. So Zach, enjoy your day at work tomorrow. Thank you for coming on. This has been Commander Talk with Zach and Justin, the king of California, and we will see you guys soon. And the stream.
later, yeah.